The Tortoise and the Hare. Hippity-hop, hippity-hop. The hare quickly hopped through the forest, leaping over logs and bouncing over bushes. Meanwhile, the tortoise slowly ambled through the forest. He hummed to himself as he crawled along. Upon seeing the tortoise slowly walking through the forest, the hare stopped hopping and came to a screeching halt. "Well, I declare you must be the slowest creature I have ever seen," said the hare. "You're so slow, it must take you all day just to get out of bed." The tortoise just kept smiling pleasantly back at the hare. "You're so slow," he said, "that it must take you all day just to change your mind." The tortoise just kept smiling pleasantly back at the hare. "What are you smiling about, you silly creature?" asked the hare. "You must be as slow-witted as you are slow-footed. You're so slow, it must take you all day just to walk around a tree." Now enough was enough. This bullying was getting out of hand. The tortoise stopped smiling and looked back steadily at the hare. "I may not be as fast as you," said the tortoise, "but I can surely beat you in a race." Well, for some reason, the hare thought that this was incredibly funny. He laughed and laughed and laughed. The hare laughed so hard he fell backwards over a log and rolled around on the forest floor until he finally answered the tortoise. "You are as slow-witted as you are slow-footed. I could beat you in a race with a blindfold on. I could beat you in a race with one paw tied behind my back." Suddenly, a sly fox walked up. The fox had been watching the tortoise and the hare the whole time and said, "Let's stop all this talking and have a race then. You two can start right here and follow along the winding stream through the forest. I will take a shortcut and meet you both at the finish line in the meadow." The tortoise and the hare quickly agreed and lined up at the starting line. "On your mark, get set, go," said the fox. And they were off. The hare quickly hopped off into the forest, leaving the tortoise far, far behind. But the tortoise wasn't worried. He slowly followed along the stream, humming to himself as he went. Bum-de-dum, bum-de-dum. But the hare had hopped back and forth over the stream so fast that now he was a little out of breath. "Whew," he said. "I'm a little tired from all this hopping. Maybe I could take a little rest. I'm so far in front of that slow-witted tortoise, I'll still be able to win the race." So the hare curled up in a lovely clover patch in the forest and quickly fell asleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise slowly marched along. He knew he wasn't the fastest creature in the forest, but he knew that he had a goal to reach. The tortoise marched towards the finish line, humming slowly to himself. After a long and steady march, the tortoise finally arrived at the beautiful meadow. As he slowly walked out of the forest, the tortoise saw that the fox and many more forest creatures had gathered at the finish line to celebrate. Just then, deep in the woods, the hare suddenly woke up. "Oh my goodness," he said to himself. "How long have I been asleep? I'd better get back in the race." He hopped and hopped until he got to the meadow just in time to see the tortoise cross the finish line. The fox and the other creatures all rushed forward to congratulate the tortoise. "No, it's not possible," shouted the hare. "How could I lose this race?" The tortoise looked back at the dumbfounded hare. He smiled pleasantly and answered, "You lost the race because you were cocky and lost sight of your goal. And everyone knows that slow and steady wins the race."